Yes. Jay Brooks in the Morning Rush.
Temperatures are cool today, that's for sure. Man, I tell you, I woke up this morning, 32 was when I went outside. Pete, what was it when you went to work? Do you know?
I believe it was 34.
Ooh, it went up a little bit.
Yeah, it's getting warm. Sun's coming up.
Right.
Although it was not up when I went to work.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we're going to work in the dark, and some go to work in the dark, come home in the dark.
It'll be me in a few weeks.
Right, when you fall back a little bit.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's always a great time of the year.
Mm-hmm. That's one way to describe it.
Yeah. Hey, you need a morning gig where you're done by noon or 1 o'clock. You got all afternoon with all sunshine.
Yeah, that sometimes seems like a decent idea. I'd like leave work and it's dark. And I come to work and it's dark.
Right. Yeah, the only time you can ever get anything done outside is on a weekend, if it's good weather.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Is it too early to have started your snowblower yet and see if that's going to work?
I still have it in storage.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that yet.
Yeah, I look at it and go, not yet.
Although I was in northern Minnesota the last few days, and I believe it was upper 20s when we got up on Monday morning.
Really?
Yeah, it was cold.
Some of that, I tell you what, some of that rain, depending on where you're at, could be a little too cold and could see a little flurries or something in it.
Yeah, this is a yearly trip, and I would guess I've been doing it for probably 25 years, and probably 7 out of 10 of the years we get snow flurries when we're up there.
Really? This time of year?
Yep. This first week of October. I mean, it doesn't stay, but it's a warning shot.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. People are saying, Jay and Pete, stop talking about that kind of weather.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on.
Right. Yeah. Well, we always get together, find out. Of course, that time of the year is going to slow things down, not only the bugs, but also the road construction. And of course, that's brought to you by Mason City All Risk Insurance. You want to make sure you get your insurance, especially when the snow flies and everybody forgets how they drove last year in the snow.
We weren't going to talk about that anymore.
That's all I'm going to say right there. That's it. Right. That's it. But Pete, what's going on as far as that road construction? We talk about the cooler temperatures. Does that slow things down, or we got things wrapping up?
Not yet. We're still moving ahead at a pretty good pace. We'll start out at Floyd, where you'll start seeing a bunch of action. Hopefully next week, the mainline paving crew is going to be moving in, so you'll see the new pavement for the new highway going down. Hopefully that'll go well, and we'll get the weather we need, and we'll continue to move ahead on that, and we'll keep you updated as we get closer to the potential opening date of that one. The new culvert on Iowa 9 west of Fertile, things are moving ahead pretty well with that one. We're hoping for the first week of November to get that one done. The deck overlay on Iowa 9 on the west edge of Riceville, we're hoping to get it open on Friday. The problem is, if you've seen the extended forecast, Friday kind of looks a little wet and rainy, and possibly Thursday as well, I believe. And that could delay it to next week. So we'll see what the weather does for us on that one. The deck overlay on Iowa 9 at New Haven, looking at the first week in November for that one. US 18 in Hancock County near Britton Garner, you're going to start seeing some new asphalt going down on the roadway this week. So we are moving ahead on that one as well. Hopefully they'll have the paving done by the end of the month. The statewide patching project, we do this every year, pick different areas, and you've probably noticed they've been in the Clear Lake area right now, and that should be wrapping up either today or tomorrow. There's still patching going on I-35 from about Clear Lake north, and that should be finishing up in a couple weeks. So there's still projects going on, so still be aware of them. Monitor 511ia.org or the 511ia app, and that'll keep you updated. And as I've mentioned, things change pretty quickly this time of year. I know we've talked about before where a lot of times the contractor crews will jump around from project to project depending on if they're ahead on one or behind on another. They'll pull crews and move from here to there. So some of these end dates can be a moving target, but we will keep you updated and let you know how things are going.
All right. Sounds good. Of course, don't forget, you can always go check out, it's scrolling across on the video. We have that going. Again, you can always if you have a comment or anything like that you want to pass along, well, you can well, you can send that in to us right now if you had a question.
Sounds like you're begging for questions, Jay.
Yeah, no. I did just to let people know because I don't think I tell
Yeah.
people.
No, and we get them every once in a while, and that's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's a thing scrolling across the bottom of the video, and it gives you the road report year round. You can download that mobile app, and that's very easy, 511ia.org, or you can also go updated through the Mesa City. Or no, it's brought to you by the Mesa City All Risk
There
Insurance.
you go.
IODOT. Pete's reading along with me here. But download that mobile app. It's a very convenient app to have on your phone, especially when you're traveling, because pretty much every state you said has it. So if you do go across the border to Minnesota, they got one too. But we really stress the 511ia.org, especially when the weather starts to change a little bit, because you'll see pictures of plows and all sorts of different stuff.
That's exactly right, and that's unfortunately, I know we talked about it at the beginning. It's getting closer, so we'll talk more as that season approaches. But I think this is something we need to talk about, Jay.
The season that's over.
No, we need to talk about the Twins. We touched on
Oh.
them every once in a while, and I know you're not as big a baseball fan as I am, but
Oh, I love baseball. I don't like. I love playing it more than I love watching it. Just because I was a pitcher.
That Twins game the other night in Houston was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Some of the Pablo Lopez, the way he dominated on the mound, and Carlos Correa against his old team, some of the plays he made in the field and at the plate. I believe he had 3 hits against his old team. Today's a huge game. They got to get this one. If they get this one, it'll be exciting. No, it won't be over. Houston's pretty dang good. I wouldn't put them down yet.
It's a series of best 3 out of 5, isn't it?
It is. That is correct.
Tied up right now.
Tied at 1. The Twins won in Houston, so that means they now have home field advantage in the series, and they've probably got one of the best pitchers in the majors going today in Sonny Gray. I think he finished second in the ERA chase overall in the American League.
Yeah.
So we'll see if the Twins can score some runs. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, it's some exciting stuff for the baseball team.
Oh, it is. It's kind of nice. It was fun to get past that first series against Toronto, and we'll see what happens now today.
When's the last time the Twins were in the World Series?
In the World Series?
Yeah.
That's easy. That was 1991.
That's what I thought. I couldn't remember what early 90s. So 1991.
Yep. Right. They won in 87 and 91.
Yeah, 80. Okay. Yeah. Well, it could be another magical year in Minneapolis.
I got my fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah, because he already uncrossed them for the other team with the Minnesota.
Yeah, that one's really disappointing.
Yeah, it's great though.
And don't get me wrong, I knew we were not going to go 11-0 in 1-score games, but now we're 1-4 in 1-score games.
Right. I don't know. There's some bad calling, bad reffing on that as well that day. Not to make any excuses because the Vikings lost, but there was some bad calls.
That last offensive play of the Vikings, I'm not sold that it was pass interference. That ball might have been uncatchable, but the player taking his helmet off,
right,
which is there's no gray area there. That is a penalty. Now, I would not have given the Vikings the ball back. I know that, but it would have changed field position, and that could have made a difference when the Vikings tried to tie it. And the other thing I didn't realize until yesterday, one of the pass rushers on that play had their hand on CJ Ham, the fullback's face mask, and was pushing it straight back right in front of Kirk Cousins.
Right.
I mean, there's a picture of it, and I don't understand how an official could miss that. I really don't, because it's right in front of the quarterback where they have at least one official looking at it for sure, if not 2.
Well, Pete, I would disagree with you on that final call, though. I think it was a pass interference because if he wouldn't have been held by the guy, then he could have possibly been in a better position to catch that ball, and it wasn't tipped. It was not tipped at the line of scrimmage.
It was not tipped at the line of scrimmage. You are correct. So
I was mad.
Guess what? I may have been a little upset with that as well.
Not happy. But no, it happens to the best of us. I guess we'll just wait for next year.
But again, I go back to plays that should have been made. There was 1 for sure interception the Vikings should have made that they dropped.
Well, then we had a fumble. first play of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it wasn't going to. You knew then it wasn't going to be a good game. You're going, well, all right, see you boys. Good to see you. See you next
And then
week.
I think they had a 3rd and 18 or something like that. And
Mhm.
they throw a pass over the middle, and our defensive back mistimes his jump. Otherwise, he should have had the interception as well.
Right.
So, yeah, it was questionable end, but guess what? Make the plays that matter during the game, and it doesn't come down to the end like that.
But what you do is you just kind of start rooting for the Twins if you're a Vikings fan.
Go Twins, win Twins.
We're gonna win, Twins. We're gonna.
There you go. That's it.
Pete, have yourself a wonderful week. All right.
All right, you too, Jay.
That's the good stuff.